Ladies and gentlemen, we now come to the most awaited segment of 21st Annual Banking Technology Conference, that is the CEO panel discussion on the timely and critical topic of building a responsible and resilient bank in the age of AI. This session will explore how banks can embrace AI responsibly while strengthening resilience, governance, and customer trust. Our esteemed CEOs will share their perspectives on building future-ready institutions that balances innovation with accountability. It's my privilege to invite on stage our esteemed speakers for this session, Shri Devadatta Chand, MD and CEO of Bank of Baroda, Shri Atul Kumar Goel, Chief Executive Indian Banks Association, Shri Rajneesh Karnatak, MD and CEO Bank of India, Shri Ashok Chandra, MD and CEO Punjab National Bank, Shri Ashish Pandey, MD and CEO Union Bank of India, Shri R. Subramanya Kumar, MD and CEO RBL Bank, and our moderator for the session, Mr. Anurag Chadda, partner McKinsey & Company. Let's welcome our CEO panel with a big round of applause, everyone. Over to you, sir.
Hello. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much. I think this is the marquee session. So first, a very, very good afternoon to all of you. I think AI very quickly is becoming from just a newspaper article and some PhD thesis to actually getting embedded in a regulated entity like a bank. It's quite heartening to hear. If I can just start with one or two interesting facts. Very recently, by the way, one of the largest financial institutions in India disbursed 5,000 crores of loans completely personless. Right, let me just say that again, 5,000 crores of loans completely personless, which means from identification to calling to dispersal, no human touch. So I think the parties just kind of began. Number two, another interesting fact, I think the recent survey we did with IBA, nearly 75% of the banks actually said that they are doing some kind of a POC, and there are 25 plus use cases that they are actually doing. This number is significantly higher than 3 years ago. Last, I think, is the investments which we are doing for future. Very recently, we have clocked 5.3% of investments in revenue across the industry in investments in tech and AI, which, by the way, is only a little lesser than global banks. So clearly, the Indian banks are getting ready to build for the next decade. With that background, I think I'll just introduce the whole topic of building responsible and resilient banks in the age of AI. We have an esteemed panel, but maybe we start with some opening comments, right? And I think, and maybe we'll bring all of you, I think in this age of AI, what is the defining moment or a moment of truth for you where you became a believer in AI or a user of AI in a big way? And maybe we can start from here, and Mr. Goyal, you can then lastly put an industry perspective as well.
Yeah, thanks, Anurag. If you say for last 2-3 decades now, banking and technology are part of the same business now. And of late, AI is coming big time into the technology piece. And if you see AI and the technology now, possibly like way back on the mobile side, we had a feature phone and there was a smartphone moment. I think we are coming to a AI moment for banks as far as this decade is concerned. And we as a bank quite aligned in terms of taking many of the industry first initiative in terms of AI. There are two things I would highlight that apart from using AI for the internal processes and the analytics and the underwriting, we deployed a AI bot, which is called Aditi, into the market, and we have almost done for more than a year now. And that's getting significant attraction not only within the country, outside the country also. So in that way, I think AI, we are talking about the resilience and the responsibility, but we are in the right time for an AI moment as far as banking is concerned.
Interesting. I think, Mr. Karnataka, if I may ask you, your defining moment in the last 12, 24 months?
Yeah, thank you, Anurag, for that. So, as regards the defining moment is concerned, so for Bank of India, I can say that we are running the project Aditya. Under project Aditya, we have that artificial intelligence through the data lake project which we are running, and in that we are taking care of not only the liability side product, but the asset side products and also the wealth management side and even the transaction monitoring part of that. So, in that what is happening basically is that through the artificial intelligence and the data lake, we have already developed 29 use cases. Out of that 29 use cases for the bank, 23 have already gone live and 6 are under the development stage. And in that even on the asset side, I can say from the right from the sales point till the time the underwriting happens, the sanction happens and the disbursal happens, everything is taken care through the AI module and the data which is generated through the AI. Beyond that, the monitoring part is also coming out of that. Transaction monitoring is also coming out of that, which includes the early warning signals and that. So, that is one defining moment which has happened in the bank, and a lot of digital cases. In fact, if I tell you in the last 9 months up to December, whatever the fresh incremental sanctions that we have done on the asset side, the delta that we have created, 15% of that delta had gone through digital sanctions. So, that is one defining moment for Bank of India where I can say that it is clearly brought out. Apart from that, we have a dashboard now, click, which we call the click, in which the branch head, our zonal head, the FGM and the vertical heads all are getting the same dashboard, and leads are being pushed to that for sales and marketing. So, this kind of defining moments we have created through artificial intelligence through our data lake system. So, in a summary, I can say that.
I think you are looking at it more holistically for the business process.
Correct.
Mr. Chandra, if I can call you in, your defining moment in your bank.
Yeah, good afternoon to all of you, and I am very thankful to IBA for organizing the IBA Technology Summit in such a big way and giving me the opportunity to participate in this panel discussion. The way we are talking about the AI in general and AI in particular about the banking, I am afraid that next year in the IBA Technology Summit, I think all of us will be replaced with the AI.
We'll have an AI CIO.
No, I think the AI piece will be here sitting and AI agent will be talking to, and you should not be very happy that you can also be replaced with some super AI agent.
Absolutely.
I think that is the moment going to happen, because the way we are seeing the things happening in the banking sphere, I think I can compare it with the infrastructure highway and the service lane. Now, you have the two options, you have the super highway and you have the service lane. Despite paying the higher toll tax, we all prefer to move on the super expressway highway. Similar thing is happening in the AI field and the digital space. Now, the way the DPI has been created, DPI is applicable, and the infrastructure is there in the financial world today. I think invariably every financial organization today or tomorrow, they will have to adopt this AI technology. That is, there is absolutely no second thought about it. Why I am comparing with the super highway? Because you don't have any road breaker on that. The speed you have to decide. You can run with 100 kilometer speed also, 130 kilometers also. It depends upon your capability and your risk appetite. Similar thing is going to happen on the AI space. Platform is there. You can use it in every sphere today, and I will cite those examples which the Punjab National Bank is doing it. Now, it depends upon the organization who is adopting this practice, what sort of guardrails the organization has created, what sort of infrastructure it has built, what sort of robustness it has built in the system. And I am very happy that RBI has come out with the free AI report, and there they have already prescribed 7 sutras. And many of these things, I think today the deliberation was happening, Mr. Patel was also mentioning about it. Reliability, accessibility, how transparency the system is there, how ethically the system is there, how the reaching to the last mile that is also there, robustness, governance, all those principles are there. And in our bank, we have adopted this principle in all our AI model which we have practiced. whether you start from the credit, underwriting, we have started with the AI process now, based on the data which is already there, the industry data which is there, and the balance sheet which is being submitted by the company. Based on all those things, we have created a roadmap, and the underwriting and everything is being done by the AI engine now. But decision, finally, we are leaving it to the human being, because finally they have to decide whether this credit proposal is worth doing or not. So this is the way we have created in the credit, and going forward, in fact, we are going for the robotic process automation, also RPA. So that process is already on, and I think to a big scale, we are going to bring the entire transformation, AI transformation in our credit underwriting. And today I can share you the 1/3, every third loan in the bank which is happening, it is happening through the digital tool now. So that is the strength, and we are aiming for the every second loan should happen through the digital tool. That is the roadmap which we have created in the organization. Second, another very defining movement is the risk, the EFRML portal, fraud risk management, transaction monitoring system. In all these things, we have brought in the LLM and the advanced AI model. In fact, we are going for the Gen AI also to be get adopted, and we are going to integrate with the UPI transaction which is happening in the NPCI and in our bank, all those transactions which is flowing through the system, whether we can map each and every transaction of each and every customer. So that is the way we are doing the risk management system. Even the customer side, the product differentiation which we are going to bring it now. We have recently launched the PNB mobile app in the second revamped phase now. There we have brought a lot of the Gen AI piece into that. Today, from one particular day to another particular date, you can see your entire transaction which is happening in your transaction, and that we are going to scale it up now. So if you have account in PNB, right now you can monitor your entire transaction, that during a span of time, how much I have spent on the grocery, how much on the petrol, and what type of investment I have done now. So now we are bringing the account aggregator also in piece, so that in your investment and saving in the entire financial system should be available in your mobile app. So these are all the things which we are doing it. The customer level segregation, the hyper personalization. I think these are all these things we are bringing it in our Gen AI. Even I will tell you the training part. Generally, when we talk about the AI, we always talk about the business, customers. But we have brought one system through the conversational metaverse, and using the AR and VR model, the training in every training center in our country, we have deployed this tool now, and every employee has to go for 30 minutes with this training system. And through the AI model, the scoring comes, and how the employee has made the conversation, what is the body language, what is the etiquette, and he gets a score. And that we have integrated through the HRMS now. So this is the way, in fact, Punjab National Bank is using this AI model, and going forward, a lot of use cases we are going to create. In fact, we are also going to create a sandbox, and we are also in talk with all my leading peer banks that they can also participate, and they can use that sandbox for AI and Gen AI. So going forward, more such things.
So not a single moment, but a lot of moments to build the highway for you.
A lot of things we are doing it.
Mr. Pandey, if I can bring you in, I think from your perspective, what has been your moment when you became a believer?
Yeah, thanks for giving this opportunity, Anuragji and IBA both. You know, before thinking about the building a responsible and resilient bank in the age of AI, let me share with you a few perspectives. The first one is, if we see the FDI flow in our country and over the world, there are few more, but the most important thing which has figured is the AI story. So if you see the money which is flowing right now, whether to the developed countries or the emerging economies, the investor has in mind a lot of AI stories. So they are believing a lot. So first of all, as a banker, I have to take care of investor as well, and as far as the economy is also concerned. The second one is, I am always a fan of two management rules. The one is management by objective, another one is management by exceptions. When you are dealing with the huge number of transactions or huge number of customers, the huge number of businesses, you cannot be manual, that is for sure. Now if you take these two things, the solution says AI is required, AI is the need of the hour. Now, taking into these two things, if I take, you started with the use case of say 25, some of the banks have done POC. So, for me, if I say the defining moment, we have done two POCs. One is the knowledge management and another one is related to the HR matters. Now, in case any of my staff members, they want to know a particular subject matter, that itself will search, everything, and then it will give the replies that these are the things. So that now question comes when I say about the business, whether it is a business or whether it is a in-house, anybody in the ecosystem, the most important factor which is requiring the use of AI is the response time. Now, the response time, if we take the manual, a person doing it, and whether it is through a normal technology or advanced one, say the AI, certainly the response time in the AI is too less. Actually, this is playing a huge role whether it is a customer. Now, coming to the use case, I would like to share with you two more coming from this only. Now, if a customer asks me something he is not aware of, say PMJJY or Sukanya Samriddhi or any of the product, government schemes or any of the product, the same thing which we have done POC can be straight away used for a customer service. So, my person need not go and tell exactly that these are the features, these are the scheme, these are the things and how it can be done. Whether it can be done through my mobile banking or internet banking or which channel it is possible. I think this is the third important. So, the response time. Now, if we take the fourth perspective also, last 5-10 years, the entire ecosystem has changed. The flyovers are not the same, the buses are not the same, the source of energy or the use of energy is not the same, our clothes, this attire is not the same, specs are not the same, mobile is not the same, watch is not the same, the customer preferences are not the same. How we can have the same banking, the system and procedures dealing with the n number of customers. Now, again, I am very much particular about my belief that coming to the bank is one area in the entire BFSI sector. Everybody touches the bank n number of times, knowingly or unknowingly. Even somebody is buying an insurance, he will touch me. Somebody is buying a plot, he will touch me. Maybe buy anything, because the transaction is going to settle within my ecosystem. So, the thing is that if I need to cater to those number of transactions, then comes the risk management. So, better I would say, certainly during our deliberation, we will be going forward with the various pillars of the usage. So, I believe there are the three important phases. The first one is your own banking processes of banking operations, should I say. The second one is the AI stack itself, which starts from your hardware systems, then the platform and observability. I think it is a very important thing now that even you cannot manage manually the output of the AI. So, you need to have a observability layer inbuilt to that, and then comes the usage part, because the trust on the AI model and its usage, it depends upon the accuracy. The accuracy again comes from the input, which comes from your banking operations, banking procedures, your banking systems, which is going to yield the data, what Mr. Patel was saying, the data accuracy. The data accuracy will come from that only. Now, you see any bank, they may be using from maybe EFT switch or UPI switch, there are 3 switches, or FI gateway, we may be getting so many data, but what exactly we are capturing? Now, we need to again reimagine that all those things, what is required for me to capture for the AI platform and give the accurate result. So, I think as a defining moment, I believe certainly we have a few POCs, hardware is already there in place, and probably we are having more than, I think, 50 use cases to build in and move forward.
Thank you. I think if I can bring you, Mr. Subramanian Kumar, I think.
Yeah. Thank you, Anurag. See, the defining moment always comes in the moment of truth. Your personal experience drives the belief in the system, right? I just narrate a couple of one instance which made me to believe that the way forward is AI. See, you know that the CEOs of the banks always crave to get a capital again and again, and you have to be on the wheels, and you have a couple of years before I made a travel through international airlines. They made a mess of it. And you just called up and they said, no, sorry, we can't help you out across the counter. You have to call up my call center. The frustration, your own, because the the anxiety of what's going to happen at the destination, how those guys are going to ask for the questions, that is add up, plus CEO ego. Like how somebody can tell the CEO that you have to call up the call center. All these things drive you with a very crazy thing, it's going to be a failure. You always have an IVR, Hindi ke liye ek dabav, Angrezi ke liye do dabav. To English also they will say in Hindi, what should be the press number 2. With that in mind, I just called up. The most defining moments started. The pleasant voice came up on the other side and said that, thank you gentlemen for calling us, can I have a ticket number? That's the only thing I gave. The next one, it just made me my jaws dropped. It said, thank you Mr. Subramanian Kumar, a veteran banker, a well-reputed person. I was taken aback. Whatever the furious thing, everything calmed down. I said, how the hell these fellows are knowing about something which I myself do not know, veteran banker and stuff like that. Where do they get it from? The curiosity kicked in, right? While we took the travel, and naturally you get your own friendship and things like that, and when probed into it, they said they had an AA agent sitting on the other side, which picked up about you with simple one statement of my ticket number. My problem was solved. All those things are different. That was a defining moment. Please imagine what it made me to feel is it's a customer experience. Yeah. What differentiates today than what it was is a customer experience. When a person with an elevated ego is able to get an experience of the pleasantness, what will happen if I adapt it in my bank? That was the most defining matter. That was a path. So when normally it happens, no, when the belief comes from the top, see, you may say that grounds up budgeting, all those things is always a top down. Whether you like it or not, whether it is a private, public or quasi-public, it's always. Maybe the best of the overseas also top down. Top things, the bottom acts, the bottom shakes, right? So that is why we have brain at the top. So we just keep the moment. That was a great moment. Then I said that why can't we do it? The first thing what I did in the bank is the most important thing for all these defining movement to come into the picture is either you have to take the tools and do your own plumbing, or you need to have the appropriate plumbers, carpenters, everybody in the group. I thought the best thing would be to get the people with the appropriate skill set on the board. That was the first important thing. We have an advantage as a private sector bank over that of my colleagues who are sitting here, some of them very close friends. They also love to have, but the love can stop only with the paper, but it cannot be reality. In this sector, you have, so we formed a team, and you'll be keen to know that I have around 250 strong team with 100 plus looking after the dashboards and data analysts, data scientists, and I have a core engineers who have a skill set of creating their own ML and LLM, which is a core
in-house, yeah.
Yeah, so that was a defining moment which prompted quite an experience one which we, having got an experience, only one immediate thing was, why not to change my IVR from ek dabav, do dabav, no dabav, das dabav, right? It will keep on getting into the loop. We are doing a POC and the results are extremely pleasant. We know that. See, the moment somebody dials, the mobile number is already registered. I don't even have to ask anything. The moment the mobile comes from Andhra, they said, "Hello, Narandi, Bagunara." That is the call which is going. Imagine the experience of the gentleman. He wanted to furiously complain about my credit card, going to complain about my collection agent. 50% solved. Because he was pleasantly surprised. That's it. No, that's the end of it. The guy says in between, no, I won't talk in English. Thank you very much, sir. Hope you are enjoying your neighbor. See, it's able to relate the events, incidents, transactions happening in the history of it. So if you are able to pull out that kind of use cases, experience is going to be pleasant and it will be on a highway. That's what.
Very interesting. Mr. Goel, at the end, I think.
Anurag, good afternoon to everybody. You have told me to give the industry expert. Yeah. You have already heard 5-6 MDs of the public sector as well as the private sector. So from the industry perspective, as you have told, we have also done this ITA tech survey of the IBA tech service. Basically, whatever the information we have gathered, based on that, I will give the industry perspective. Around 75% bank has told they are using AI in another matter. And out of which 35% bank, they are using the Gen AI also. Gen AI or the agentic AI in some of the
use case is also, average use case is the 20%. And even you ask me this, Subramaniam was told about it is basically related to the customer experience. Somebody is using for the credit dismissal, somebody is using for the fraud. I think in my opinion, if you ask me, as on date, the 50% the onboarding of the new acquisition is through digital transformation, where the AI is also playing the major role. And second, from the industry perspective, because each and every bank is using in the one of the another matter, I will tell you, because the payment side, if you ask me, the data of the December, which we have seen in the UPI, 22 billion transactions. And in terms of the amount is the 27.97 trillion amount. And today the challenge with the banking sector is monitoring of the transaction. Basically each and every bank has created the transaction monitoring department. And I think there is the main use of the AI also, because when I joined the bank, then we are doing the monitoring of the debit side. Whether we have end use of the customer, we are looking, now the CTS check is going to the centralized sector, nobody is monitoring the whatever, this is the reason the more than 250, the SM, etc. is high. I think major role of the AI, maybe the bank is using as on date for how to stop the mule account, etc. The credit side transaction, I think this is the best case I can say. Otherwise, each and every bank is using, you have heard all of them for one or another matter also.
Oh, very interesting. I think that is quite compelling statistics, like you're saying. I think I'm also cognizant of time, but if I just deep dive into responsible AI, right? I think that's the theme also. How do you really build a responsible bank and in the age of AI, but also using AI responsibly? And if I can just bring in, I think maybe Mr. Chan, to start from you, how are you using it responsibly, or how are you building a responsible bank? What would be your approach?
Yeah, thank you. I mean, as I said, that we have been an early user of AI as far as the bank is concerned. We had a sandbox concept long back, and many of the POCs have been in production now. Typically, the usage of AI as far as the bank is concerned, both in terms of the AI or the agentic AI, we are deploying more in terms of modeling, underwriting, fraud risk management and all this. And these have been used for a very long period of time, and these are all used cases with a perfectly good outcome therein. So, absolutely in terms of responsibility, I think these are all settled as on today as far as the bank is concerned. Increasingly, what we have done for last couple of years is to bring the AI into the customer interface, which is typically a Gen AI outcome that I talked about. We rolled out couple of physical branches, and we put a Aditi, a robotic AI, which can interface with you on a live basis for doing 17 financial and non-financial transactions. So, initially when we deployed this, we had a bit of a huge issue with regard to how the model is going to behave vis-a-vis a customer communication. Will there be a responsibility, ethical issue therein? So, I think after doing that, closed user group testing for many months, we rolled out in last 8-9 months and getting a huge response vis-a-vis the market and a huge recognition within India and outside India. So, in terms of responsibility, the banks are mindful of their roles in terms of how do you bring use AI on a responsible basis, and when on a customer on a live basis you are deploying AI and getting an outcome which is again coming in the threshold of your what you can say the outcome vis-a-vis AI. I think the banks are quite mindful of responsible AI usage. Two things which are important for us, whether it is a AI or non-AI, the trust and resilience of the system should continue. So, going ahead, when you think of usage of more and more AI, I think as long as these two aspects, trust and the resilience, we are not compromising in any way, I think there is a great value for usage of AI, and we as a bank quite aligned, thanks to us, like we have advisors like Phatak Saab being part of my IT steering committee. So, we have been mindful of this usage, and for us many of the AI usage have been more of a use case and a probable outcome which is quite comfortable as we look into the data. Thank you.
The sandbox approach, and then kind of
yeah, absolutely.
Maybe Mr. Pandey, if I can get you, what does responsible bank or responsible AI mean for you, and how are you approaching it in your bank?
Yeah, I think I would put it into two ways. The first is on the usage part, another is on the governance part. So, on usage part, I think that the important right now is to build as many as possible use cases on the assurance functions immediately. I will give an example as well. Two POC you have already seen, which I discussed in my last interaction. The one is suppose the reconciliations, or maybe the transactions happening in a branch. Actually, we may not be knowing, we may be knowing very next day that a particular branch there are say 2000 number of transactions which has happened between 1 AM to 1:30 AM. Now the question is, it is impossible for a human being. Can we build an AI system which immediately alerts, you know, where the control 24/7 control room is there to the bank, and they actually, you know, work upon then there itself to stop it. The another case I am just putting on a human side. In all public sector banks, all the employees go for a health checkup every year. It is just simply they take the welfare money given by the banks. The same thing can be uploaded in the HRMS portal. The AI can be used, and nobody of us, if I ask anybody who is sitting here right now that what was your cholesterol levels or this HDL, LDL 2 years back, they may not be knowing. But the AI can tell, give a report that last 5 years, this is the scenario, and probably this I feel like a, you know, chatbot something, that these are the things which probably you are not doing well. So like this, there are huge number of cases on the assurance. Second, governance, I believe, till you make an observability layer, till then probably you should have a very strong governance mechanism to see whether the model is functioning well or malfunctioning worse. So probably because, you know, you have that same data lake you may have, but what is there in the data is a question. So I believe that you know, the governance, so these two things as of, you know, in our bank we are taking care of.
I think, Mr. Gol, if I can get you on the responsible side, particularly on the governance side, right? I think you look across all banks. Maybe one quick suggestion on how to approach it.
No, I will tell you, because this from the industry point of, I will give, because you have already heard some of the industry expert also. Basically the RBI has already issued this free AI. Basically that is related to the responsible use of the AI also. And out of this 26 recommendation, 5 was given to the IBA also. So we have already done. We have the working group, we are the senior officer of the private sector, public sector bank is there. So we have already done, instead decision has been taken, then we have discussed this in the payment and this committee, then MC also, we have given the guidance also. But as far as asking the responsible banking, because the AI is being used for the decision making. For decision making, you are using the data also. So most important from my side is how you are using the data, because if data is not correct, the garbage in, garbage out, we used to tell about the, so how the use of the data. Secondly, the DPP Act also there. So that we have also taken into consideration by using the data of a individual customer. So this is my suggestion.
Got it. I think shifting to resilience very quickly, I think it has traditionally meant very different things in bank. It was about capital adequacy, controls, and so on and so forth. But resilience has a very new meaning in this age of AI and digital. And I think maybe, Mr. Karnataka, if I can start with you, what do you think of, I think, building a resilient bank in this age of AI, and how are you approaching it?
Yeah, thank you, Anurag. The topic itself is something which is very interesting, and the conference today itself, the building a responsible and a resilient bank. So it was there earlier, like we presently, if you see the scheduled commercial banks, we are very responsible, we are resilient today as of today. Top line is good, healthy, bottom lines are very good for the banks, asset quality is very good. So already the structure is there, which is very responsible and very resilient. Now the thing is that in the age of AI, how it can be more resilient and more responsible. So on the topic that you have given me, that how it can be more resilient, see, resilience will, see, we are a bank. So 3 basic things are there as far as the risk is concerned, which we have to manage as a resilience, is the credit risk, the market risk, and the operational risk. So under that we have to build a very resilient structure through AI, so that the credit risk is taken care by the AI, the market risk is taken care by the AI, which includes the liquidity risk, and obviously the operational risk, which also includes the cyber security risk and the threats which are coming to the, not only to the bank staff, but obviously to the customer, the cyber threats which are coming. So this is the resilience which we have to build within this system. Just in the interest of time, I'll just give 2 examples in our bank, where we are trying to create the resilience through the AI for countering that. One is the ROC center that we have built. resilience operational center which we have built, which is a 24/7 control room which is there, in which the various data points which are coming through in the bank, whether it is the SWIFT messages, UPI transaction, RTGS, NEFT or any other IT system which is going through anywhere, that is being tracked through the ROC, a 24/7 control command center which is there. So, as Goel Sahab has elucidated the kind of numbers which are there in the UPI and the kind of number, we have a market share of around 3% in the UPI transaction. So, you can see the mind boggling transactions which are happening every month in the UPI platform for Bank of India also. So, that is also getting monitored through transaction monitoring and other kind of things. And the second thing which is there under the resolution platform is again the cyber security part which we are using through our AI, wherein the RBI Mule Hunter is live, wherein the NPCI data which are coming is live on the T+0 basis. Then the data which is coming from DOT, Department of Telecom, the mobile numbers which are coming, which are suspicious numbers, they are again going through the AI and getting integrated into the system, and accounts are getting blocked. Around we have blocked nearly, frozen nearly around 15,000 saving and current accounts, and which have helped not only the mule, these were all mule accounts actually, which have helped save lot of transaction and amount for the customers at the end of the day. All these things are helping in the cyber security, and it is all happening through the AI. So, resilience is getting built up in the system, and definitely in the times to come we have to build in more in order to counter all the risks which are there and build a more resilient system through AI.
Mr. Chandra, how are you approaching resilience, I think?
Yeah, see,
cyber attacks and frauds.
Yes, being a financial institution, institutional trust becomes very, very important, and that is all dependent upon the models which you are deploying it. I have already touched those points. I think it's the model which you are putting it in the AI should be very, very ethical, transparent, and there should be audit a trail for all those things which are happening in the system. We should have a very, very robust governance system in the framework. I think if you are able to put this model in your AI framework, I think definitely the resilience will be there, and people will have trust in the model which you are developing it through the AI model. So, that is the thing which I would like to submit.
Got it. I think Mr. Subramanian got a last on the resilience.
Seeing everybody talked about data. So, you know, any model, be it LLM or ML or whatever the advanced applications on AI, they depend on the underlying data. And the data correctness, data completeness, these are two important factors. In its absence, the AI model is going to get bias view. It will be a hallucination, and it will make you to feel that you are in heaven, but you will be in hell. Yes. Actually, that is going to be the huge difference if suppose the data is incomplete and data is not correct. So, the most important factor for the resilient bank is that do you have an ability to collate the data and compute the data and forecast the data. In today, in the current form, I don't think anybody will be able to say that, as he rightly said, Mr. Pandey, that I don't even know my cholesterol level for last year. If you are going to be in that situation, you will be a failure. The forecast is going to be a failure, you will be in hell instead of being in heaven. So, the AI models and LLM models definitely help you to reach that stage of correct prediction and forecasting it. My view is that the resilience doesn't come only by handing over everything to that. It's not robotics which is going to, you have good Star Wars movies which will take you to the Mars with in an aircraft which you would not have imagined, and we are not a Captain America also to fly everywhere. So, the reality is that the men behind the desk is going to be the differentiator. This is going to be the facilitator, enabler or accelerator, but at the end of the day, the men behind he is the one who is going to make the situations clearly understood. He is going to make the situation to be. If you hand over the decision to that, you are getting into the deep trouble of bias, you are getting into the deep trouble of hallucination, and you are going to lose the biggest muscle of thinking. The cognitive thinking, which is a part of it, you will lose the muscle. So, ultimately, AI is not a panacea of every problem what we have. This is a tool which is going to run on a highway at 700 bullet train. It's going to facilitate, but ultimately you have to step into the train and run, right? Otherwise, you will not reach the destination. So, ultimately, the resilience depends on a formative way of collating the data and making the data to see for itself in a quick way, enabling the decision maker to take an appropriate right decisions.
Oh, thank you. That's very, very well said. I'm also looking at the clock. I've been told, I think, while we can keep discussing, I think if I have to just summarize, I think from age of digitization, it's the decade of AI. While we can build the super highways, and the super highways are going to allow everybody to run at different speeds, it depends on the institutions at which you can run based on the talent and infrastructure. But the man behind the machine still controls everything, and I think that's a little bit of responsibility and resilience that we need to kind of bring. But thank you. I think thank you for a lot of thought-provoking thoughts. I think that brings us to the end of the session, but thank you again for all the thoughts.
Thank you, sir. We truly appreciate your insights and experience, which have been inspiring to everyone. We request you all to kindly stay on stage as we move forward with the release of IBA's survey and benchmarking report, which is developed in collaboration with our esteemed knowledge partner McKinsey & Company. May we now request the dignitaries on stage to formally round the report, please. Can we please have a big round of applause? Thank you, dignitaries.